Today, we saw Trump impose 25% tariffs on a couple countries, and he also sent a stark warning to a bunch of other countries that are aligning themselves with the BRIC nations. We saw Bitcoin come down. We saw overall equities come down. We did have some outliers, but for the most part, all markets were pretty much down off this new tariff news. So we're going to jump into that. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at Ethereum, XRP, and Solana. I'm going to give you my thoughts, my analysis, and what I think or why I think this is a good opportunity. And if we can get a little bit lower, I think that would be a great opportunity going into my thesis for Q3, Q4 run up, like we've been talking about on the channel over the past couple weeks. So stay tuned. What's up, cool kids? FD White back with another episode. Welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the channel. So like we talked about, tariffs or Trump did impose new tariffs on a couple countries today. Let's actually just jump into it. I'm over on coindesk.com. So today it says Bitcoin slips below 108, erases weekend gains as Trump ramps up tariffs. So Trump imposed a bunch of tariffs. He had Liberation Day and things like that in April. So then we had sharp decline, but then he postponed a lot of these or most of these tariffs until July 9th, which is coming up in 2 days. Now he pushed it back or postponed it again till August 1st. But what happened today was President imposed 25% tariffs against Japan and Korea while threatening additional levies against any country aligning themselves with the BRIC nations. So the BRIC nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South America, they form the BRICS nations, and they have been recruiting all around the world, these different countries that have been coming on board with BRICS. They're trying to eliminate the substantial need to rely on the United States. They're trying to not have to rely on the United States as much or pretty much at all. So it won't happen like overnight. I don't think they think it's just going to happen like in a blink of an eye. This is something that would take probably decades, if not ever, in order to not use America or not, settle transactions in USD and petrodollar and all that. It's a lot that goes along with it. That's for another video. But Trump, this is the first time that Trump has really, that I've seen that Trump has really addressed this BRICS thing, because BRICS was gaining steam a lot, I think, towards the tail end of the last administration. And it seems like they've been kind of dying down, not really too in the limelight as Trump has been in office. But now it seems like he hasn't forgot. And now he's putting these tariffs, or he's threatening to put tariffs on anybody that's aligning themselves with these BRIC nations. So Trump did impose 25% tariffs against Japan and South Korea, but he did delay the due date for those tariffs for the trade deals overall from July 9th to August 1st. So he's giving these countries a little bit of time to let it sink in, see how they want to react, see if they want to come with some sort of new deals, or if they're going to not align themselves with BRIC nations. And speaking of countries that have aligned themselves with BRIC nations, it says Trump set 25% tariffs on the products from those two countries starting August 1st. But on Truth Social, he shared a 25% tax against Kazakhstan and Malaysia, 30% against South Africa, and 40% against Myanmar and Laos, which is in Southeast Asia. So this is just something that possibly is going to continue to linger about it or in the market until hopefully August 1st. Hopefully we just get some sort of conclusion. Are we going to have 25% tariffs on these countries, 10, 15, 50? Like, what is it going to be? Hopefully August 1st, we just get a set number, and then the markets can adjust. The markets could just digest it and say, okay, these countries have tariffs. This is probably going to happen. Now we can react accordingly, with what's going on with the new data, with the new information that's being presented to us. So all of this has something to do with interest rates, inflation. I know the Federal Reserve right now is saying that these tariffs are going to bring inflation up, ramp inflation back up. Trump is wanting to get these interest rates cut quick. Powell is saying we may get 1 or 2 interest rate cuts going towards the end of the year. So I think August, after we can, if we can get this concluded in August, and then we have the seasonality of September being one of the bearish, if not the bearish month for markets, I think this is a sweet spot to get some good setups, to get some good pick up some cheap crypto, some of the ones that you think are convicted about, some of the ones that have been showing strength, some of the ones that some of the big players have been accumulating, because retail is not really here yet. Not sure if they're going to come back, but this has been an institutional rally. This has been, well, cycle. This has been an institutional, just everything about it has been pretty much institutional, except for the meme coin season, because TikTok had the meme coins going crazy. So that's pretty much why we got this small little sell-off today. We're still holding above. Let's actually go to the market. We're still holding above for Bitcoin. We are at 107,677. So not too bad for Bitcoin. We're going to go over Bitcoin really quick. Same analysis as what we've been talking about. Bitcoin right now did break above this bull flag that we were in. Let's actually pull this out. So I'm on a 4-hour time frame. It did break above this bull flag, came back in, popped back out. Now we came back in, and I don't like that we came above here 2 times, and both times we didn't seem to hold outside of this bull flag. So even if we get some sort of a sell-off, I mean, I'll be looking at 106, our first stop. We talked about this last video. 103 has been a major area of support, and then we have that this is a 103, and then of course we have that 10 or that 100K area. Last video I talked about how Arthur Hayes was saying look at 90K, but if you want to know why he said that and why I think he said that and why that possibly is on the table, go and watch my last video. It's the last one I've published before this one. So Bitcoin, I mean, we're still at 107. We'll see how the overnight Asia session reacts, and then we'll see how tomorrow pans out, and we'll possibly get some trades. There's been some nice trades to have, some nice trades to get once Bitcoin does pop, or when Bitcoin does have a huge sell-off. Right now it's kind of it's in limbo. It's kind of in a gray area for me as when it comes to trading. So I'm gonna continue to watch what we do here. I'll see. Let's just draw this out right quick so I can give you a quick rundown. But we're gonna put a lot of this over in the Cool Kids Telegram. Make sure you come over there to the Cool Kids Alpha Club free Telegram. I'll put the link in the pinned comments. So if we do something like this, let's say right now we're sitting at 107. Let's say we do come back up here, use this as resistance. I'll possibly be looking, to go back down towards this 106 area here, which also has a lot of, let's do this. We have a lot of price action coming in at that 106 area, and then like I said again, 103 and then 100. But if you want to get those levels, watch the last video. Let's move over to Ethereum. Ethereum has been one that has been lagging a lot. A lot of people have been like, what's going on with Ethereum, me included. So right now in the short term, Ethereum is riding this trend line, which was what I really like to see. I like to see us hold this trend line. This is back starting from the beginning or the end of April, the beginning of April, once we got that huge sell-off coming off the back of Liberation Day or the tariffs. We came down to about almost 1,400, well, a little below 1,400, got a nice pop, came back down to our trend line and some horizontal support, came back up for a nice pop, hit it again. Then we got that really, really good pop all the way up to about 2,900. Then we came back down, touched 21, deviated below here, but what I did like to see here was some sort of an inverted head and shoulders, pop back up. Now we're just been riding here. We did have a small little swing failure pattern down below there, but like I said, we've been holding this upper sloping trend line, or this trend line that I've drew. If you want to draw it on your chart, start from Tuesday, April 25th. And then pull it all the way up to now, and that's how I got this trend line. So this is the trend line that I've been watching. If we do lose this, then I'll be expecting us first stop will be coming in to about 2350 rather, and then our next stop, which I think will be the bottom or the floor if we do get some sort of not a massive sell-off, but a nice little correction coming down to about 21 to 2200. But like I said, we're at 2500 right now, so things are not looking too bad as long as we hold this trend line for Ethereum. If we if Bitcoin does start to rally a little bit more, getting back up to about 110, going back up to all-time highs, I think we can get back to that $2,800 level for Ethereum, and then that's our major support resistance level. We flip back above here, I mean, sky's the limit now. Now we can go up 3,500, back up to 4,000, back up to our cycle high at about 4,090 or something like that. Not our all-time high, but our cycle high for Ethereum. Solana, So we've been looking at Solana for a trade. It didn't pan out like we wanted. We thought Bitcoin was going to potentially try to test all-time highs around 112, possibly break all-time highs. So we had a nice little trade set up for Solana. We were going to look for us to come back up to this 160, hit our head, come back down, get back above that 155, 160, and ride it all the way up to about 180 to 185. That did not pan out. So now, I mean, we're going to keep the setup. We're going to keep the, we're going to possibly keep this on our radar. If we can potentially come back above, well, we have to draw it like this now. Let's actually move this over here. We want to break back above here. And like I said, this is all dictated on how Bitcoin moves. If we can get a nice little, since we don't have any more, hopefully we don't have any more tariff announcements coming this week. Maybe that was the only one that was going to come this week. Maybe countries are going to start coming out saying, okay, we want to do this. We want to work with you. We don't want to work with breaks. If that starts to happen, then I think markets could do a little bit better. Markets could rally a little bit. It's kind of like a lot of people are saying fundamentals don't matter. It just depends on time frame. It depends on it depends on how you trade. I think they both matter. Of course, like I said, I'm technical probably 70% of the time, but fundamentals matter. Like we were going up and then something fundamental came out, Trump talking about tariffs, and we started to go down. So you cannot say fundamentals do not matter. They do matter, but technicals to me matter a lot more. So like I said, if we can bounce back, we do have a downward sloping trend line from our peak at about 188, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So if we can come and bounce back above here, we have this horizontal here, and then we have this trend line coming in from June 22nd. So we bounce. Looks like we're trying to hold it. Well, we lost it here. If we can reclaim that, get back above there, I think that'll be a good sign. And then we can potentially get back above this 155 to 160 area. We get back above there and hold that, then I'll take a trade from about 155 to 185, which would be a good a nice little bounce. But I'm not looking at shorts right now. I'm only looking at long. So if we do start to roll over, then I'm just going to wait for a specific or macro support resistance levels, and then I'll look for bounces at some of those levels. Lastly, let's talk about XRP. XRP, same thing. We just been in the trend line. So XRP did break out of this bull flag. We got in this bull flag, consolidate, breakout, retest, came all the way up to about $2.35. We're sitting at $2.25 right now, right on a trend line. So we'll see if, let's draw this out. So we'll see if XRP, we had a touch here, we had another touch here, one here, one here. Now we have one more here. So let's see if we can, start to break back. We start breaking back above these highs here at about 235, then I think we can get all the way up back to about that 250 to 260 area. We'll be targeting somewhere in this area here for XRP. And like I said, all these altcoins, all this will be predicated on Bitcoin starting to go back up to these all-time highs, or if we get some type of outlier, like some good news for XRP or some good news for Ethereum, just anything that a singular incident, if we get some type of good news for one of these coins, then of course they could pop. But for the most part, it's going to be dictated on how Bitcoin does. And the bad thing, one thing that I hate to see right now is a lot of these coins are at prices when Bitcoin was at 70K. Like when Bitcoin was at 70K, a lot of these prices or a lot of these altcoins were at the same price. I would have never in my wildest dreams, even watching Ben Conway, shout out to Ben, man, even watching these Bitcoin dominance videos and things like that, I would have never suspected or expected that these altcoins would be so weak against Bitcoin this late in the cycle. But hopefully we can get some sort of a altcoin season. I think it's going to be a lot different, but hopefully we can get some sort of altcoin season coming soon. You're going to have to go down the risk curve. You're going to have to take some chances. We're not going to get rich in Bitcoin. We have to I save in Bitcoin. I invest in Bitcoin and XRP. Those are my two that I'm really starting to accumulate long term. But for the most part, if you want to change your life, we got to go down the risk curve. And I think we got time before, because the market is going to show us when it's time to go heavy, when it's time to gamble a little bit. Right now, it's not time to gamble. Right now, it's time to accumulate. If you have conviction about a coin, start to accumulate some coins, but it's not gambling time. When things are just going like, euphoria, FOMO, when that happens, then you lock in, you ride some waves, you scour the cryptoverse to see what the narrative is, what the sector is that's going on, some announcements, try to get ahead of some announcements. Not saying you got to be an insider, but just trying to get ahead of some of these things, ahead of some of these plays, ride them up, make sure you take profits, and rinse and repeat. So I'll try to be here every step of the way. We're going to get out of here now. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. I think between now and probably mid to late September, this is opportunity, because I do think, I could be wrong, but I do think going into Q4, October, November, December, I think we're going to have some sort of a massive rally in crypto, in stock market, and overall assets. And if you don't know why, make sure you go watch my last few videos, and then I'll break down my thesis, break down my analysis, and why I think that will happen. Actually put it at the end of this video so you guys can go watch. I'll put the 2 videos at the end of the video so you can go watch, so you can see my analysis. And like I said, come over to the Telegram, the Cool Kids Alpha Club, where I share real-time news, charts, analysis, trade setups, my thoughts, everything like that. And like I said, I appreciate you. Have a good night. We're back at it tomorrow. Make sure you lock in, tap in, and we'll see you in a minute. Peace.